And welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into Cisco Packet Tracer to tackle a fundamental skill: configuring a complete wireless network from scratch. We'll set up a wireless router, connect both wired and wireless devices, and even extend our network's reach with an access point. So, fire up Packet Tracer, and let's get started. First things first, we need to connect to our wireless router to configure it. Grab a copper straight-through cable from the Connections menu. It's the solid black line. Click on our admin PC, choose Fast Ethernet 0, and then click on the wireless router, which we'll call WR. Connect the cable to one of its available gigabit Ethernet ports. You'll see green triangles light up on both ends of the cable once the connection is active. This means our admin PC is now part of the router's local area network. Now, let's get our admin PC an IP address. Most home routers have a DHCP server enabled by default, which automatically assigns IP addresses to devices on the network. On the admin PC, go to the Desktop tab, click on IP configuration, and select DHCP. After a moment, you'll see the PC gets an IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway. The gateway address, which is 192.168.0.1 in this case, is the router's IP address. This is the address we need to access its management page. Let's log into the router. Still on the admin PC, open the web browser from the Desktop tab. In the URL bar, type in the router's IP address, 192.168.0.1, and hit enter. A login box will pop up. For this Linksys model in Packet Tracer, the default username and password are both admin, all lowercase. Go ahead and enter that. You're now inside the router's configuration interface. Take a look at the network setup section. You can see the IP address range for the DHCP server. Notice that the IP address our admin PC received is within this range, which is exactly what we expected. Next, we need to configure the router's connection to the outside world, the Internet. Under the Internet setup section at the top, the connection method is set to DHCP by default. We're going to change this to static IP. This is common in business environments where your internet service provider gives you a fixed IP address. Let's enter the details they've given us. For the internet IP address, type 209.165.200.225. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.252. The default gateway is 209.165.200.226. And the DNS server is 209.165.201.1 DNS. Or domain name system is what translates website names like cisco.pka into IP addresses. Now, scroll down and click Save Settings. To check if it worked, open the web browser again on the admin PC and try to go to the website www.cisco.pka. If the page loads, our internet connection is a success. With our internet access configured, it's time to set up the wireless side of things. This is part 2. Back in the router's web interface at 192.168.0.1. Navigate to the Wireless tab, and then click on Basic Wireless Settings. We're going to focus on the 2.4 GHz band, which is great for compatibility and range. First, let's change the network name, also known as the SSID. This is the name you see when you search for Wi-Fi networks. Let's change it to A Company. Remember, SSIDs are case-sensitive. Next, let's set the standard channel to channel 6. This can help avoid interference from other nearby networks. For this exercise, we'll disable the 5 GHz band to keep things simple. Don't forget to scroll down and hit Save Settings. An open Wi-Fi network is a huge security risk, so let's lock it down. Still in the wireless section, click on Wireless Security. Under the 2.4 GHz settings, select WPA2 Personal as the security mode. WPA2 is a strong, standard security protocol. For the encryption type, we'll leave it as AES, which is the industry standard. Now, for the most important part, the passphrase. This is your Wi-Fi password. Let's enter Cisco123 with a capital C and an exclamation mark at the end. Make sure you type it correctly. Once you're done, click Save Settings. Our wireless network is now configured and secured. Now for the fun part, connecting our wireless clients. Let's start with laptop 1. Click on it, go to the Desktop tab and open the PC wireless utility. Click the Connect tab. You might need to hit refresh, but you should see our new network, A Company, appear in the list. Select it and click Connect. It will then prompt you for the password. Enter the passphrase we just created, Cisco123. Click Connect, and you should see a successful connection. To double-check, open the web browser on laptop 1 and navigate to www.cisco.pka. If the page loads, you're officially connected wirelessly. Now, just repeat these exact same steps for laptop 2 to get it connected to the Accompany network as well. What if our office is large and the router signal doesn't reach everywhere? We can use an access point, or a P, to extend the network coverage. Let's add one to our topology. First, connect the AP to our router using a straight-through cable. Just like we did with the admin PC, connect it from port 0 on the AP to an available Ethernet port on the router. Now, let's configure the AP. Click on the AP and go to the Config tab. Under the Interface menu, select Port 1, which represents the wireless interface. We need to make the settings match our router's settings exactly. For the SSID, enter A Company. For authentication, select WPA2PSK, and for the passphrase, enter Cisco123. This ensures that devices can seamlessly roam between the router and the AP without losing connection, with our access point configured. Let's connect laptop 3 to it. Open laptop 3, go to the desktop, and open the PC wireless utility. On the Connect tab, hit refresh. You should now see two A Company networks. One will be on channel 6, which is our router, and the other will be on channel 1, which is our access point. Since laptop 3 is closer to the AP, it will show a stronger signal from that one. Select the A Company network with the stronger signal and click Connect. Enter the passphrase Cisco123. When prompted to verify, open the web browser and visit www.cisco.pka. It should load perfectly, proving that our network extension is working. Finally, let's perform a couple of important administrative tasks. It's never a good idea to keep default passwords. So, back on our admin PC, log into the router's web interface again. This time, navigate to Administration, then Management. Here, you can change the router's login password. Let's change it from admin to Cisco. Scroll down and save the settings. The router will log you out and ask you to log back in. Use admin for the username and our new password, Cisco, to get back in. Our last task is to change the internal IP addressing scheme of our network. Let's say we want our network to use the 192.168.50.0 range instead of 192.168.0.0. In the router's interface, go to Setup and then Basic Setup. Scroll down to Network Setup, change the router IP from 192.168.0.1 to 192.168.50.1. We'll also add a DNS server for our DHCP clients by entering 209.165.201.1 into the static DNS1 field. Now, click Save Settings. Your browser will lose connection to the router because the admin PC is still on the old 192.168.0.x network, while the router is now on 192.168.50.1. They can't talk to each other anymore. To fix this, we need to renew our IP address. On the admin PC, open the command prompt from the desktop and type the command ipconfig renew. This forces the PC to ask for a new IP address. You'll see it gets a new IP in the 192.168.50.x range. Do the same for all the laptops to get them onto the new network. After renewing, test connectivity again to www.cisco.pka to make sure everything still works. Tutorial helpful? Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more networking labs and tutorials. Drop any questions you have in the comments below. See you in the next video.